Olga is my name. Milfing is my game.
But did I also get thrush? Yes.
Hello, I'm Susie Ruffle, and incredibly, Dave have asked me to host the Comedy Guide to Life, which is ridiculous because I am hanging on by a thread. Have you seen the news recently? Basically, I've got to a stage where I think if you don't have anxiety, I don't think you're concentrating, and I'm not the only one. Today we're talking all things mental health. This next act is brilliant. It's Ania Magliano.
There are definitely things that I know I should be doing to make my mental health better. I just can't be bothered. Because the people who always give you this advice are so annoying. I keep getting told to take time off social media, spend less time on it, but the people always tell me in such an annoying way because they're always like, I'm actually not on Facebook. Yeah. It frees up so much more of my time for being a bitch. It's like, great. Just grow up and get in the pigsty with the rest of us and have a bloody roll around. It's so pretentious. What's the worst that could happen? Someone steals my data? I actually don't mind. I think it's nice that someone's interested in my life. I do think social media is bad. Okay, that was groundbreaking. Someone write that down. That was incredible. I do think it's bad, but I do think the people giving me advice about it are worse. Something I find really annoying is when people say, oh, don't compare yourself to other people on social media. What else is there to do? Read their opinions? No, thank you. Let me scroll and be toxic. The main thing that I think social media is bad for me is that it stops me being productive. So I'm trying to combat that by getting a to-do list. Yeah, I've got a to-do list. It's quite exciting. The problem is I keep forgetting that I have a to-do list. So then I'll just be going about my day, just doing stuff, and then I'll realise I have this to-do list and I'll have to add everything that I've already done onto the to-do list to then tick it off straight away and feel like I've achieved something. That's not a to-do list, that's a memoir.
This act is a brilliant stand-up comedian, and she's also got a degree in computer science, so she's funny and clever. But can she do this? It's actually not that useful. It's the brilliant Olga Koch.
As a computer scientist, I feel like doing computer science rewires your brain a bit, because as a computer scientist, when you write computer programs, you constantly have to account for every possible scenario. So you have this internal monologue that's like, what if they click this button? What if they put this input? What if this happens? What if that happens? Every single scenario. And for a computer scientist, that's an occupational hazard. For a regular person, that's anxiety. Every single day I wake up and I've won an Oscar and there's a nuclear war. What if I get married? What if I don't get married? What if I have a kid? What if I don't have a kid? What if I don't have a kid, but tell my boss at my day job that I'm pregnant, print out a sonogram off of Google Images, go on my government-mandated 1 year paid maternity leave, fly to Bali, learn how to be a yoga instructor, not because I like yoga, but because when I get back to the office, I want everybody to tell me how amazing I look for a woman who's just given birth. Olga is my name. Milfing is my game. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now we have the brilliant Sukh Ojla.
I know people get very uncomfortable when you talk about mental health on stage. I know because I've seen it, and because I'm a very intuitive person, and because people send me DMs telling me so. Hi, Sukh. We came to see your show last night in Covent Garden, yeah? And we liked all the jokes about being Indian and that, and your mum, yeah? All that stuff was really good. But when you started talking about your depression, yeah, it just made us really uncomfortable. I'm not being funny, yeah? But we came out for Gurpreet's birthday, yeah? And we just left our shitty husbands and our kids at home, yeah? Because we just wanted to have a girly night out, innit? I thought, let me go on her Facebook profile and see what this bitch's deal is, right? Her top post on her profile is for World Mental Health Day. Everyone is fighting a battle you don't know about. It's really important that we talk to each other. It's okay not to be okay. If you feel sad, just DM me. I'm here for you. I know not all of you are going to read to the end of this post, but if you do, do copy and paste it to your profile. Sad face. Heart emoji, prayer hands.
Now it's George Zacharopoulos.
Like, I'm very big on being happy. I think it's important to value your mental health, because I'm trying to come to grips with my own situation, because I recently got diagnosed with a seasonal affective disorder. I don't know if you know what that is. I didn't know what it was either. I found out though. Turns out what it is very simply, when the weather gets bad and the nights get long, I am not a happy bunny. Not a fan of that shit, guys. I didn't know, right? That's what it is, right? Basically, winter is not my thing, which I think is very ironic, because I was born and raised in sunny Greece and moved to the United Kingdom, right? I voluntarily left the infinite summer and I moved not to England, to Newcastle upon Tyne, when winter is coming all the time. I am the only person when people can look at my depression and go, I think you were asking for it. That's what it is, right? And I don't think it's just me. The reason I got too long, I only recently got diagnosed, because I thought, winter hating is, everybody hates winter. Does anybody like winter? What's good to like? Nothing. As a child, I hated school begins in winter. That's the worst. Christmas wasn't a big deal in Greece, so what's the point? Lent sucks balls. And I think, the medical profession has really done me a disservice by calling it seasonal affective disorder, because the acronym is really patronizing. SAD. That's the best you come up with for my condition, SAD, right? No one takes SAD seriously. Paranoid schizophrenia sounds deep, manic depression sounds deep. SAD sounds like you just watched the last episode of Friends when they leave the keys on the counter, right? Or Toy Story 3. That's what SAD is. That's nothing else, right? SAD. Even the cure to this is patronizing, like sunshine. The NHS does not prescribe holidays, guys. And even if it did, in my case, it would be a very delicate situation. What's wrong with me, doctor? You got seasonal affective disorder. Ooh, what's the cure? Go back where you came from.
If you're worried about my anxiety, don't be. I have a therapist. Her name is Joy. Her last name's or your money back. She also hates that joke. Don't worry about it. And I've recently been going to Joy a lot. We've been talking a lot because my ex is getting married and I'm doing very well. I know he's getting married because he has a wedding website, and it's so well optimized for search. It's their own fault I'm stalking them. So yes, he is getting married to a woman we're going to call Jane, not to protect her identity, but because she's a poet and I don't want to give her free publicity. And I'm spending a lot of time on the internet stalking Jane. I'm not going to lie, right? I'm on her Instagram daily, Twitter, Facebook. I'm there. My parents didn't grow up in a police state for me not to know she's allergic to shellfish, okay? I know a lot about Jane. Since she's a poet, I went and I found her poetry online and I decided to learn it for a laugh. I told my therapist Joy this and she's like, please don't do this. Why are you doing this? And I said, Joy, you don't understand. I need material for the stage to make money to pay for you. So it's like a whole, do you know what I mean? And then other times, this is how you make the most out of therapy. Other times, I will have nothing to say to Joy, so I'll go to my friends who want therapy, crowdsource all their problems, solve them in one go, right? Except the lines get crossed, because I'll be like, my dad didn't wish me happy birthday. And she'll be like, I thought he was dead. And I'd be like, exactly. Hi, Joy. I hope you never see this.
I knew something wasn't right about 4 years ago, okay? Because I was at Rochester train station, platform 2, and I was crying my eyes out. Not unusual if you go to Rochester, there will be somebody crying. But this was an unprecedented amount of tears, even for me. Normally, if you're in this kind of situation, you go see your GP, yeah? Go see your GP. I can't do that, right? Because not only do I live in a tiny town where everybody knows each other, but also I'm from the Indian community. And if there's one thing about the Indian community is that we don't really talk to each other, but we talk about each other. And guess what ethnicity most GPs are? My doctor's surgery is so Indian, they're called Dr. Singhs. There isn't even a Dr. Singh that practices there. Everyone's Indian. You have to be Indian to work there. It's some positive discrimination thing. The receptionist is called Manjit. She's best mates with my mum. I thought, I can't even call her up and ask for an appointment because she's going to know who I am. I can't even put my white voice on. We've all got one. So as soon as I give her my name and address, she's going to know who I am. So, how are you? How's your mum's knees? Yes. Your dad's cholesterol? Very good, very good. Thought if I go in asking for therapy, she's going to be looking through my files before I've even walked out the door, and then she's going to be on the phone, and everybody in town is going to know, oh yes, you know she's a bit mental, isn't it? Yeah. But I couldn't afford private therapy, so I thought, do you know what, maybe self-care is the answer. And I didn't really know what to do, so I just ran myself a bath. That's what people say self-care is, you know, got some bubble bath, lit a candle or two, put a face mask on. I mean, it kind of worked, you know. Did I get a temporary sense of peace? Yes. But did I also get thrush? Yes.